All right. Welcome to today's webinar. And let's wait for a couple minutes. We still have some participants haven't logged in so far. So today's webinar will be very interesting because it's a team meeting style, and we'd like to have more interaction with you. So feel free to drop in any questions if you want to ask us. And let me introduce myself. I'm Chelsea Gao. I'm the Customer Success Manager from Access Orange, and we are conducting a bi-weekly webinar so far. And this is a series, and today's agenda will be a brief introduction of Copilot, and then Agnes will be introducing you how to utilize Copilot. And also, then we will have some demos, and in the end there will be a QA session where you can drop in any questions you would like to ask us. And also we have some participants with us today. Mr. Nero Wang is also Customer Success Manager from Access Orange, based in Hong Kong. Nero, would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hello, Chelsea. Hello, anyone. Hello, everyone.
And Sheila Megawan is Customer Success Manager from Access Orange as well, based in Philippines. And today's I'm going to be the host for the webinar today, and Agnes from Ingram Micro will be introduce you about a day for IT administrator. If he or she utilize Copilot, what would it be like? So it would be very interesting. So without further ado, let's kickstart. And we'd like to give you a very brief introduction about us. We are Access Orange, and we can help you work smarter. As you can see, we are Microsoft partner. And our office locations based in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taiwan. We have physical offices located in these above 3 locations. And also we have customers worldwide. And we want to be the partner that can help you bring the smart into your organization for a new level. So today I'm going to give you a very brief introduction about how you can use Copilot and how it can help you with your business and how to get the SME grant. And I'm in charge. I am in charge with the SME grant for Copilot project at SS Orange. So if you have any doubt about whether your company is eligible to receive the grant or how to, if your company is capable of utilizing it, you can drop me any questions after the webinar. And here you can see our expertise. Our expertise is helping you to thrive by utilizing all the tools provided by Microsoft. So here's a list of services we provide. Security and compliance, Microsoft 365 licenses, etc. And also you can see on the list, premium IT support, Microsoft Azure, Power BI, Dynamics 365, and Teams Phone. I think maybe some of you have used Skype before, and you can use Skype to call abroad and with a very limited, it doesn't really cost much, but and Teams phone is kind of like that. And if your company has to making phone calls overseas, making a lot of different phone calls daily, it will be a very good tool for you to utilize. And also Power Apps and LMS 365. And we also will assign you a dedicated account manager in charge with the customer services. Okay, let's move on to Copilot. So today's session, we would like to introduce you a lot more about the demos, like how to use it in your daily work. As you can see, like AI, will AI replace your work? AI won't really replace humans, but humans without AI will replace human without AI. And maybe some of you may be wondering, but in fact, I think a lot of you may have already aware that most of the business would be utilizing AI as their tool to make their business thrive. And 87% of businesses believe AI will give them a competitive edge. And you can help use AI to reach more clients and accelerate your practice and grow the revenue. Also, migrate customers to the cloud and etc. And you can see on the presentation slide, maybe some of you are very overwhelmed by the workload every day. And actually 64% of employees, they are finding they are lacking of time and energy to do their job. And employees lacking time and energy to do their job are 3.5 times more likely to struggle with innovation or strategic thinking. So employees are starting to embrace the idea of using AI to support their work. And I think some of you maybe haven't have the experiences in utilizing uh, Bing or browsers like the web page type of Copilot. But well, we are what we are introducing you today will be totally different. So maybe you will have some concerns. Employees want AI-powered chat, but companies have data security and privacy concerns because lots of users they may have tried the tools or services, but maybe you have concern that your corporate data will be put in as risk. And some large corporations discourage employees from using AI tools because of fearing that their data would be having the risk of being exposed in the internet. But I think you can rest your concern about this type of risk because it will be really safe. We have our guarantee, and Microsoft will guarantee you that your data will be safe with us. Can you guys hear me clearly? You think, am I breaking through? Okay. The Copilot. Okay, great. The Copilot edition, like I mentioned, you can use web data to browse to utilize the basic Copilot. It's like a gadget that you can it can have the certain documents sum up and but the differences with Copilot for M365 would be utilizing the data within your company. So what is Copilot? Microsoft Copilot is your everyday AI companion, providing AI power web chat to users. And Bing Chat is like Bing Chat, it can help you with tasks like searching the web, creating content, learning new topics, and more. And we can demo like what is Copilot, like what is it what is it like using Copilot within daily work in a minute. Workday would be very different. Like the efficiency level would be boosting. Like it's kind of like beyond your imagination. I think it's very exciting for us to introduce you this type of tool. Like it's really great on making everything more efficient. Like you can use it to summarize a long PDF, draft emails and social content. It can help you draft all the email content. Like you can just give them prompts and you can write a very professional passage and generate images, learn new skills and get answers for specific complex questions, etc. So why using Copilot? It is a powerful and protective way to do your work and in a more efficient way. It access to powerful AI modules, and it is transparent and current, and the business data is all protected. You can rest assured that chat data is not saved, no eyes on access, and chat data is not used to train the model because it is not a browser type of AI. So you have Microsoft has guaranteed you three things, like Copilot. One is chat data is not saved, and like I mentioned, like no eyes on access. No one at Microsoft can view your data, so you don't have to worry about your company data will be utilized by Microsoft. And data is not used to train the model. Chat data is not used to train the large language models used by AI because it is within your company data. You don't really have to worry about it. And following the intelligent recap in Copilot, which Agnes will be demonstrate a more thorough example for IT person using in a daily work. So here is you can see this is the Teams um, Teams page, and then you can see like using Teams, if you like you missed the meeting and you want to get the recap, you can just use the intelligent recap in Copilot. So we can see like who's in the meeting and like who has addressed something, and you can get the summary of the meeting, and you can get the follow-up test, and it is really handy. So follow up. Here I have included the Copilot in Outlook for you can see, like maybe I'll show you in the screen. Wait a second. Okay. Let me use this as tool. So I'm using Copilot for work and web. You can click on the switch here. And for example, I'm using this to recap a meeting. For example, the webinar taking place. Maybe this one. And I can get a recap. I'm summarizing the key takeaways and actions items. So when you use Copilot, you can improvise and use it, given the prompt as you wish, and it can give you a very thorough and detailed ideas of the items that you required. That is one example. And you can click on the prompt library to see more, like what's new, what's the latest from whom, and say what's latest from Sheila, and it will give you some summaries of it. So that is the differences between using Copilot within your company and using it via the web. You can click on the web and it will be like the bin Copilot that you've been using. So this is the example for the Copilot. The other one is using Word. For example, your company has add Copilot into your M365, and you can see the icon over here on the top. You can click on it, or you can see the icon when you start a blank file. Click on it, and you can maybe have a reference, describe what you like to write or include some notes. It will utilize the data that include. So for example, I'm using the presentation slides I'm using today. So I can utilize this file and give me some speech example. So in a think of an eye, it will give you some introduction. So it'll be very fast, and it is very handy. And you can always like try maybe just play and try to research more, like uh what is a Copilot and why you need it, and etc. It is a very handy gadget. I think yeah, I think it'll be really fun if you acquire it and utilize it in your daily work. So that is just an example for Word, and for Excel and Outlook and etc. Um, Agnes will be giving you this demonstration about it later. So I think I'll hand it over to you, Agnes. You can share your file.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the event this afternoon. So happy to look at to meet you all here. Sharing my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let's start. So today I will be presenting use case scenario for an IT professional on how helpful or how useful Copilot is for IT professional. So Copilot, like what Chelsea has already shared to you all, right? The Copilot for Microsoft 365, it really represents a new paradigm in the work where employees collaborate each other with AI to ensure that they have increased productivity. And Copilot for Microsoft 365 is really designed to transform how we work in digital age. So Microsoft 365, my Copilot for Microsoft 365 powered by large language models, or we call it LLMs, right? And also combining your business data from Microsoft Graph, uh, Copilot for Microsoft 365 really aims to spark your creativity in your day-to-day life and also boost productivity, and you can definitely learn new skills from it. These tools really integrate seamlessly with your Microsoft 365 suites, including all the popular applications like Teams, Word, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, like what Chelsea also has shared you, right? So you can really have an assistant right next to you, besides you, with you every day. That's why it's called Copilot, because you are still the pilot and the Copilot is your AI assistant, right? It really elevates your productivity level and creativity as well in your workplace. So Copilot for Microsoft 365 in action, like in Outlook, it can summarize the content of large email thread. in PowerPoint, it can turn a text-heavy slides into a concise bullet points. So for instance, if you are also working a lot with tender documents, for instance, right, then it will be able to present you some of your like few bullet points or for you to action upon, right? For instance, if you want to see from 20 pages, 30 pages of tender documents, what are actually the requirement the tender is looking at, and then what are the specific requirement that they do have, for instance, for finance, for even for the tenderee itself to just glance through, check at a very quick base to ensure that whether they can match up with the requirement or the inquiry they are requesting or not, right? And then in Word and in Teams also, it can rewrite paragraph in different tone or style. In Teams, it can summarize meeting, chat, Microsoft for Copilot for Microsoft 365 can really change the way that we now work, and it transform our everyday task into a day in a life of an IT administrator. IT administrators are the guardians of our computer systems. But what do they do actually every day, right? Is this job difficult to manage? So let's dive into a day in a life of an IT administrator, and we can do a bit of role play here, right? To discover the ins and outs of this role. So IT administrator manage and maintain organizations networks systems, right? They make sure everything works well in the IT system, from storage devices, databases, servers, network, and it's all like within their majors. So aside from these technical duties, the administrator are also in charge of, let's say, project management, and they have to work with other expert from either internal or external side when running projects, for instance. Okay, so this is Will. Will is an IT administrator at Contoso. So um, 7:30 a.m., for instance, like Will arrives at the office, and while making her coffee, she comments Copilot to check her emails and chat for any urgent issues. Because when we arrive at our office, for instance, right, we check, we built our to-do list, or is there any still pending work from our last weeks, for instance, or the former days, right? We want to be on top of everything that we need to do that day. In using Copilot, right, you are you need to comment Copilot with we call it prompt. So basically, it's wording that you use to comment Copilot on what do you want Copilot to do. So what I'm opening, right, is Copilot chat, or we call it Microsoft 365 chat, and it is because it is embedded within your organization, within your tenant domain, your organizations, right? You can find, you can comment Copilot to check something like what we want to check for Will before, right? We want to summarize my email from last week, for instance. Then we just click. Then it will generate you what are the things that you need to follow up this week. Oops. Okay. maybe I don't get really so much email this week. So let's just summarize my email. It's combing through emails. Then, oh, so I have two emails. One is from Tuesday afternoon from my colleague Chadi May, right? Regarding an IT issue. So this is what I need to follow up today, right? So that's how Copilot helped me, Will, as an IT administrator, to point out what are the things I need to follow up today. Top of mind, without really combing through my email myself. Because most of the time, we, as working in this era, right, hybrid organizations, we sometimes receive email that is actually not um, addressed to us directly, but rather us inside the CC, right? So we are easily receiving more than 20 emails, more than 30 emails, while actually the things that really need our attention personally is five, seven, right? So by this time, you really already save a lot of time combing through your email yourself. Okay? You guys are following me, right? Okay. So that is 7:30 while enjoying my coffee. I can combing through my emails with the help of Copilot. Now, 8 a.m., right? Need to attend daily line up to discuss priorities of the day. So let's say in my company, there is a morning daily line up for me to attend, to do cross-department discussion, to ensure that we are addressing the problem in a holistic basis, for instance, right? I'm so sorry. And for this 8 a.m. Thing, I will be giving you uh playing you a video instead, right? So that you will know how's a meeting in a Teams meeting look like and what can Copilot do for you, right? Other than recapping the meeting for you without you being without the needs of you to really look into it like super much, or you can also still doing a bit of multitasking here and there, or you are finishing your coffee, for instance, right? Copilot can also generate additional insights on, let's say, how the group feels about the discussion topic, and then what are also Copilot will also provides you additional prompts below here. Like you want to see if there's any unresolved questions from the meeting, or is there any other categories that works worth exploring from the meeting. So Copilot really helps you to think out of the box to make sure that a meeting is really worth attending. A meeting is really, you really pour in your effort and your 100% uh, presence in the meeting itself. And if even you can't attend the meeting, you can go back to the meeting recording and ask Copilot to recap everything for you, point out, is there any action item for you to take on, or is there anything very important that you need to cover on within the day. You can think of any prompt to help you do your day-to-day business related activities. So really, the possibilities are limitless, and the productivity level that you can achieve with Copilot is really mesmerizing, I would say, right? While 9 a.m. Will need to create IT planning for hardware checks and software inventory, and also will wants it to be um, completed with timeline and proposed dates also, right? So here actually, I put here in the box, right? A prompt that you can also use when you are working with the Copilot. So create a draft of IT planning, include suggested timeline, for instance. That's the prompt. Okay. So I will call in my Copilot again. This time, let's do it in Word, just like what Chelsea did before. Let's start with blank documents, for instance, right? And because it's a draft, and most likely our usual process now is that we oh I sorry. So what we usually did is that we try to find from machine search engine, right, to see uh what are the hardware and software inventory look like, and then you copy the format, and then you draft out yourself, right? While here with Copilot, you can just um, ask Copilot to do it for you. So create a draft of IT planning, of IT planning for software and hardware inventory, include suggested timeline. Okay, so just generate, and Copilot can generate it for you directly. You just need to wait a bit, um, maybe washing your coffee cup, right? Or maybe can add on another cup of coffee. Yeah. Then once it generate the document, you can check, review whether it's already up to your standard or not, whether there is something that you want to add, right? Then you can still ask Copilot to add something more if you think like this one is not satisfactory enough for you. Then see, there is the you want to keep it or you want to elaborate more, right? The choice is really yours to make. That is what we'll do at 9 a.m. Now, 1:30 p.m. after lunch, right? Then we'll realize she needs to revise presentation for a meeting. And she used Copilot to create a presentation. Let's say based on the Word document he created before. Okay. So here, go back to home. Sorry, go back here. And we open PowerPoint, open blank presentation. You need to wait until there is Copilot button to see. Yeah, let it loading for a while. Okay, create presentation from file. Okay, and you check file here. Let's say you just want to do the presentation based on this IT planning document that you already have, right? You just simply click and run it through. It's loading now. Well, you can do uh, other planning of your day, right? Or you can do some kind of checking on what are the things that you have done for today, what are the things that you still need to do, right? So really, Copilot lets you have the time you need to better strategize your day, better strategize your to-do list so that you can really achieve more other than spending your time doing admin thing, um, this practical thing that simply would require uh, 1 hour, 2 hours of our time preparing a presentation. Now, less than 5 minutes, you can have it all. Of course, it may not be 100% according to what you want, right? You may need to do some um, checking here and there and some revision here and there also. But baseline is took you 5 minutes to just generate this presentation, right? Okay, now go on to 3 p.m. After afternoon snack, after afternoon coffee again, we'll use Copilot in Outlook to draft replies to confirm a resolution of an issue. Remember, I still have email from Chadi that I need to reply, right? So I go back, then I go to my Outlook. Then I choose, yeah. Copilot provide me also the summary. Let's check it out. You're looking for key points from the email. You know, sometimes the email itself, right? You will have an email string of more than 10 emails actually inside it. And then sometimes you kind of lost if there is really something that you need to follow up from those long email strings or not, right? Well, disclaimer here, AI generated content may be a bit incorrect, may be incorrect. So you need to check again. But long story short, right? There is summary for you to look at. There is help for you by Copilot to understand more on what is going on in the email string. Okay, so I will just reply to Chadi. Then I will do draft with Copilot. There are even options on what do I want to draft, right? I'll just suggest to Chadi for troubleshooting steps, or okay, maybe I just uh take this. Apologize for the inconvenience first. I don't like it. I don't think it's very presenting with solution. So I will just ask Chadi for remote access for me to help Chadi with her issue. Okay, good enough for me. So then I'll just keep it and hi Chadi. Yeah, reply her. What task done? That's what I did. That's what Will did at 3 p.m. Now 4 p.m. At the end of the day, I need to create data insight of my company's software and hardware inventory. Then I will ask Copilot to help me instead. I open the data on Excel. Then this one, I open the document. Like for instance, look, out for the Copilot that sign. Here it is, Copilot logo, and we click on it. Even Copilot will ask you, will provide you prompt that that you want to run. So I just want Copilot, this to be presented as a data insight. So I click on it. If you're thinking of other prompt, definitely you can type everything you want to know about this to be presented to you. Like for instance, making it into a graph. Okay, it needs, so things with prompt engineering, right? We call it prompt engineering, is that it might need you to train them, to train the prompt, to be more precise in giving you result. So if let's say you are looking at like this, right? It's not really like because Copilot cannot present you the data, but it's rather you need to train them to do so. Okay. You see, show data inside. Data inside for software and hardware inventory. Then we run it. Let's see what Copilot can present us. Enable again. Okay, let's just copy paste this. Ask Copilot again. I train you, Copilot. Or maybe my data is just too simple. Okay, give up. Show data inside. Show. Maybe I'll ask for something more. How many comparison? Is that comparison of current inventory of software and hardware? Software versus hardware, for instance, right? Let's see. We can Copilot generate for us. Okay, maybe not that precise as well, what I asked to this Excel. So quantity comparison. Okay, need to be more precise, and I think I need to train more of my Copilot demo. What are the simplest question? Yeah, present me this data in chart, in pie chart. It's either to be. Okay, let me think of something simple. and representable for this. How many total hardware PQI I have? Okay, let's just try this one. PQI OTT used and available. Maybe Copilot is confused of my table names. Wow, okay.
I just followed the online. If it was something building a basket. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anybody can think of question I can ask to my Copilot in this case?
Maybe you can try the prompts. Can you?
Yeah, the prompts
they
I
say-
did is the first one, yes. Or just like this.
Yeah,
When
I have a
is
question.
Yes.
yes?
Yeah, this is Winston Chong here, right? Maybe not for an Excel spreadsheet, but can
Mhm.
Copilot review the calendar and reveal on any particular day who the visitors are coming to the various meeting rooms? And I guess that presumes that the entry has been made to capture 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning, Mr. A and Mrs. B. 2 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, Miss C, right?
If you meeting organizer, you can definitely see the insights. But
Chetty,
if
you're
you are
free to
not,
talk. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
so far I've seen you've tried to use Copilot on Word, and that seemed to work well. We don't have yet an Excel version that works. Can it work at the Outlook level and combining the whole 365 ecosystem together to pull data out?
I have nothing on my calendar, so I cannot show you. So the question was in a meeting, right? For instance, if when you are inside the meeting, then you
No, no,
want
no.
to see.
No, so
Okay.
go to the calendar view that you had earlier on, which is
Uh-huh.
currently empty, right? So say in the current week, beginning Monday the 17th to the 21st,
Uh-huh.
we have various meetings in the company. There are a dozen of
Mhm.
us, so different clients coming in. Part of the thing we're trying to achieve here is to make sure that we have people ready to greet our clients when they come in, right? But advisor A has his own set of clients, advisor B has his own set of clients. So no one has the big picture view of how many clients are coming to visit us in any one week, Monday to Friday. So I want to be able to scan through everybody's calendar to say, summarize on Monday, every day of the week, who are the visitors we're expecting from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and so on. All the data is there already, except it's captured on half a dozen, 7, 8 different advisors' calendars.
I see. That is definitely an interesting use case that we can look at it. Um, Maybe Shadi, can you help me with this?
Chetty, you can take over. Or do you want me to use my Outlook to demo? Chetty?
Sorry, I'm I don't have my PC at the moment.
Okay.
Is
Let
it
me
normal?
share my screen maybe.
Okay, can.
Okay. Here's my screen. You can see the Outlook, right? So as you mentioned about the collision of the invited guests, you want to see the availability to attend certain events. Actually, it's doable on Outlook calendar. It is connected with Teams and all the M365 environment. Say I'm organizing today's webinar, so I can set up the event, and while I edit this event, I can send it to my attendees, and all the attendees availability, I can see it right on the click. So I can see whether this person is busy or not. For instance, if I'm editing this meeting, it's like an internal meeting with my coworkers. I'm adding Rod, Hila, and Nero, also Winnie, and it has a suggested time, right, on the instant. So say I'm going to organize it on 27th. So everybody is available, but 5 p.m. is a little bit late. So maybe I can push it to 2 p.m. after lunch. Oh, everybody is available. So maybe if I schedule it on the more recent date, okay, you can see the available times for the certain invite guests of the meeting right now.
This is an existing feature, right? It's not a Copilot feature. Well, what I'm trying to do here is the objective is we want to be client centric. We want to be welcoming our clients as they come in through the front door, rather than being surprised that, oh, somebody rang the doorbell and we didn't realize that Mr. A was supposed to come at 2 o'clock, right?
Understood.
Only Johnny, who's the advisor who invited Mr. A, knows about that. But Mr. A is obviously a client of the company. So what we're trying to do is generate an overall view of all the visitors that we are expecting during the day, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Because you can imagine, right, like what you had in your calendar, you had, I don't know, meeting with Johnny, right? And Agnes may have meeting with Nera, whoever it is, right, at different times. But they're finite meeting rooms. So part of this is we also want to know which meeting rooms are being used, who are the clients we're expecting to come to visit us, so that people can receive the clients.
It is a very good question. I think it's doable, and I will consult with my teams. Is there anyone who can reply right now? Daryl? No? Maybe I can get back to you after this webinar. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So Agnes, if you go back to your Excel spreadsheet, I mean, something simple. Could it just generate a chart on some of your criteria there? Your criteria was like how many people on the Excel spreadsheet. So, okay, so there are 8 entries there, 8 records, and there are categories, either hardware or software, type perpetual or subscription. Yeah, so could you just ask it to generate charts that show how many users by description, how many users by category? Could you just do that? Because I guess by description, there's user laptop, user monitor, Office server, operations database, and user apps. There are five different types of description, right? I can do that with a chart, but yeah.
Okay, let's try to generate.
Please, William.
Okay, yes, that's this one. I obviously need to train my Copilot.
Yeah.
Obviously needs to train my Copilot more
Yep.
on this
Doesn't
function.
like so you
Yeah.
say that, but do you mean that lightheartedly or do you mean that seriously? Does Copilot have to learn?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm really telling it like seriously, because Copilot also will need to learn how we approach things, provide answers, and how do we react in our like in our workstation, how we use our softwares, things. So Copilot will also identify our way of, let's say, replying on emails, whether we are using kind of, you know, um,
So is
for
is that
instance,
is that user centric? Because I may have a
it
particular
is user
style,
centric.
yeah,
It is
of
user
responding.
centric. Yes,
Okay,
yes. You can ask Copilot, for instance, to draft an email that really looks like me or sounds like me, instead of regular business English, for instance. Yeah, you
okay,
can use that. So that's why I tell that I need to train my Copilot to react more like me. Yes.
right. So whenever we install Copilot, we have to
Yeah.
go through some kind of an initiation time frame.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So okay.
Yeah.
So this example with your spreadsheet here,
Yes.
it does seem that it does lack some fundamentals because
Yeah.
the fundamentals of preparing a chart in Excel is really, you cover it in basic, maybe not basic, intermediate courses, right?
Yeah.
So,
So maybe we just try to make uh
no, there could be another problem here, or is this what we should expect with the kind of,
I tried before with much simpler Excel sheet. It works. But maybe I mix too much here, like the perpetual substitution or between hardware and software, and the type of quantity. So before I tried only number, item name, category, then I split into hardware or software and the quantity only. So it
Yeah.
does give me the result that I want. But once I think I present more complex information like this, I need to train them more. Yeah.
Hello,
Train
Winston.
them
Hello.
by, yeah.
May I give some supplementary reference and some information there?
Yes.
Regarding to the first question for the, I may be going back to the first question about the Canada, and you mentioned that you want to maybe ask Copilot to highlight some participant that from Monday to Friday to see if there any participant will be joining any meeting so that you have anticipation for how you greet the client, etc. Maybe I show you my maybe my screen first to give you a brief look. And basically, actually, you can key in some instruction to ask Copilot to generate all the meetings from Monday to Friday to see if there are any meeting there. This is just some fundamental knowledge and information for your reference. But if you want to get more detailed information about who will be joining the meeting or the participant list, and you have to ask the Copilot to do so. Like you can just ask, can you tell me how many participants will join for each meeting? This the list actually our client that will be joining our meeting for the coming weeks and days, and you can simply just take reference from the list that Copilot will highlight for you. And for the second question, That is for the Excel, some charts. I think basically you as just mentioned, you need Copilot to learn something from that. But I think it depends on the data that show in your Excel, like this sheet I have right now. And when I click Copilot, I better click the Control A to select all the information so that the Copilot will know what sheet you are actually looking for. And you can just right here, you can click like help me to analyze. And when a Copilot analyze the data, okay, let me show maybe like okay, he will ask me to analyze the data, and once if the result comes up, he will also generate the chart for me to put it in my Excel file, like how many unit price of one, and he will give me some ideas on how I can generate those data. And let's give it a little second for it to generate. Or maybe you can just type, give you some insight about this data, any findings, some important data right here. You can just bold it and give you some concept on how to present it.
How large is your data set? How many records do you have?
I think because it's actually generated
26.
from
Yeah.
It just generated from some template. It's not the real data, just some for demo use. So I think it depends on the difficulty and the complexity of your data.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a feel for how long it's taking to analyze your data, the size of your data set. That's all.
Oh yeah. So I think it's easier for the Copilot to analyze as little right now. Let me wait for a second to see if how it's going. Okay, not able to do that. Maybe it's just show data inside. Okay, still not able. But because I used to be successful in generating the data and chart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think
is this also pragmatically right?
Yes.
Copilot Mark 1. Is this what it is? Is it the very first version of Copilot?
Sorry?
Is this the very, very first rendition of Copilot
Yeah,
that
I think
Microsoft is rolling out?
Yes, I think it's improving and evolving.
Okay. Yeah, so it might just well be that, if you're an early adopter, then go for it. But if you're not, then maybe sit it out for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry to have hijacked it. Yeah. I need to go, right? But thanks very much.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Vincent.
Thank you.
Keep in touch.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thank
audiences.
you.
It's a little bit exceed the time. We have reached. Agnes, do you still want to present more or?
My presentation finished already.
Okay, great. Let me give the audiences a quick update about the SME grant, and then we can wrap it up for today's webinar. So, can you see the screen of the? Okay, let's jump to the SME grant. I think most of you have been aware of the Singaporean government has launched the subsidy to help Singapore small and medium enterprises, SMEs, to purchase in Microsoft 365 Copilot. And the grant is up to 50% of the Copilot purchases. So the 50% of subsidy for the licenses is going to be issued for the eligible local SMEs. And if you're concerned and don't know if you're eligible for the grant, you can contact me after the webinar. The eligibility of the target companies they are registered and operating in Singapore, and they are having at least 30% local equity, and also they are not exceeding 100 million Singaporean dollars or a group of employment size not exceeding 200 employees. And the grant is offering up to 50% of subsidies, and it's very it's like a first come first serve type of opportunity for you to seize. So I think this is a very great opportunity for you to launch your Copilot into your enterprise. And if you are not sure about how to utilize it, how to set it up, you can consult with us. We are happy to help. We can arrange the Copilot onboarding services, and also we can offer you training. Onboarding services is like we can provide you comprehensive setup services for M365 Copilot. So your company has to have on the M365, and then Copilot can be embedded on that on your tenant. And review and configuration of customers' M365 environment, and we can give you some thorough inspections of how to utilize it. And also, we also offer training includes hands-on demos, security practices, usage strategies, and so on. So feel free to contact us. So here is a list of the upcoming webinars. Today, we're focusing on IT persons and how to utilize Copilot within a day. And next time is 2 weeks later, 4th of July. And we'll be focusing on marketing and so on. If you're interested in joining, feel free to sign up and just scan the QR code or contact me. I'll be in charge with the SME grant. And hope you have a nice rest of the day. If you still have more questions, feel free to drop us some questions. Just leave it in the chat room or raise your hand if you still got time for us. Anyone? No? Okay. Have a nice rest of the day. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.